Welcome back to another epic adventure. Today, we're talking about knots, and specifically, these knots. Well, there's actually four. This one's gonna be done in two different ways with two different applications, and we'll get into that later. Bam! The first knot we're gonna go over is called a barrel knot, also known as a fisherman's or a stopper knot. Fun fact, 70% of all climbing accidents happen on the way down. And so our goal is to try and prevent that from happening. To start the knot, I'm gonna lay the strands across my finger, index and middle, securing it with my thumb on my left hand. I'm going to wrap once, making an X, wrapping twice, going back to front, and pulling from the tail. This tail length is extremely important because it helps us know that we have a safe knot that's not gonna roll with a lot of weight. It just basically cinches and gets tighter. A good rule of thumb with the tail length is if you have average size hands, if you place it, you wanna have two fistfuls and some change, and you should be good to go. Another good way to remember it is you want at least 12 inches of tail length. We're gonna demonstrate it one more time with a complete knot. So ensuring we have enough tail length, lay, wrap, wrap, back to front, pull, cinch tight, make sure it's properly dressed and really clean, no twists, no tangles. The second knot we're tying is the figure eight follow through. This is the quote unquote standard when it comes to tying into rope systems from climbers. The reason it's widely used is because one, it's strong, two, it's easy to learn, and three, it's easy to recognize. The best way to recognize if you've tied your figure eight follow through correctly is looking for your 10 parallel lines. So as I tie the knot, I'm gonna make sure that the knot is clean and well dressed. The 10 parallel lines I'm looking for are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. As you can see, this knot is identifiable and clean. Now I'll demonstrate how to properly tie this knot. I'm going to take the tail end, making sure that I have the appropriate tail when the knot is complete. I'm going to pull one full arm's length out and make a bite. An easy way to remember this is think of it as making a rabbit hole. The tail end becomes your rabbit. You're going to go around the hole and into the hole, pulling a really clean figure eight. The next portion is the follow through. I'm right-handed, and so I'll keep the tail end in my right hand and start retracing my knot from the right side, going in through the right, up, around, making sure I have a long enough tail, following through, keeping on the same side, and as you notice, I'm entering and exiting through the right. Pull nice and tight, clean, identifiable. On my right hand, this is where my climbing harness would be. So imagine there's a climbing harness and a person here. This is my identifiable knot. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And I have definitely appropriate amount of tail, 2 fistfuls, and a lot of change. I'll demonstrate it one more time. Take the tail, pull one full arm length, make my bite, one wrap, tail through the bite. I now have my first figure eight. Pick my side, staying to the same side the whole time, staying to the right, staying to the right, staying to the right, and exiting on the right. Another beautifully finished figure 8 follow through. The next knot we're going to do is essentially the same thing, but it's all going to be created on a single bite. And the way that's going to work is I'm going to take my tail and make a bite. And my left hand, which has the actual end of the rope, is just going to be held. Where my left fingers sit is basically where I want the knot to form. So I lay it over, making my rabbit hole. The rabbit goes around the hole and through the hole. And as always, make sure that your knot is nice and dressed and really clean. Now I have the appropriate tail length. I have a nice size loop that I can fit my carabiner in. And if I need to quickly connect a climber on a top rope system, or using this for building an anchor. I'll demonstrate it one more time. Take the end, figure out how big I need my knot to be and how long of a tail. So if I want my tail to be the appropriate length, this will be the top of my knot. Wrap. And through. Again, clean it up if you need to. Nice and dressed. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Before we get on to this last knot, please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Also, if you'd like to see more content, leave it in the comments below, and we'll try and make it happen. Thanks for your continued contribution and support. The last knot we're going to do is the BHK, also known as the Big Hunk Knot. So just as with our last knot, we make a bite, a predetermined bite. Now for this one, we're going to actually make it pretty big, so it might come off the screen a little bit. I apologize if it does. I'm going to take my bite end and fold it over my rope. Now I should have 2 strands on each side. Where this bite is, I'm going to go ahead and pinch off so I have the tail plus the bite in my hand. I'm going to wrap, half wrap, not a full wrap, but a half wrap, making sure to grab the tail and my original loop. And pulling tight. Now you'll notice I have 2 loops at the bottom of the knot in my right hand and 1 loop in my left hand. This loop is a byproduct of the knot. Now if I were to pull this strand from the bottom, it could actually unravel the entire knot. And so securing that initial bite is extremely crucial. So I'll demonstrate the knot to completion, ensuring that we have everything is long enough and big enough. Take my bite, find out where I want the bottom of my loops to be. grab using my main master point as a guide, creating an overhand, and pulling. This knot may not look really pretty, and it can be hard to make it pretty because of how it just naturally creates twists in certain spots. But with a little bit of time and care, this knot can also be made to look very pretty and very clean. There we go. Take this loop so that so we don't lose it like we did earlier. We're gonna go over the knot and around the 2 loops. So now this leg is passing through it. You should have 2 loops at the bottom. So now if one of these should fail, you have a backup. And now you can use this as your main master point for most top rope setups. So that's all the time we have in this video. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. Stay safe. Namaste.